When we think dangerous, we picture war zones on the news, places where survival depends on luck, timing, and one wrong move. But some of the most lethal danger on Earth isn't on a battlefield. It's in real locations where water, height, speed, and nature turn a tiny mistake into a no-rescue situation. Now we're counting down the 9 most dangerous, impossible places you should never visit alone. Number 9. Passage du Gois, France. It looks like a normal road until the ocean decides it isn't. This 4-kilometer causeway crosses a tidal bay, and twice a day it disappears completely. The sky can be calm, the surface looks safe, and then the water starts moving like a trap closing. Here's the terrifying part. The tide can rise up to 4 meters in minutes. Not slowly, violently. Currents kick in, the road vanishes, and cars become floating targets. People misjudge the timing, panic, and suddenly there's no shoulder to pull onto, because the street is turning into open sea beneath you. That's why rescue towers stand along the route, metal lifelines for anyone who gets caught. If you're too late, the only option is climbing up and waiting while waves slam below. Imagine standing above the water, watching it swallow your escape route, realizing this road is only safe for 1 to 2 hours a day. Passage du Gois isn't a road, it's a countdown. And if you're wrong, the ocean collects the payment fast. But the next place is worse in a different way. Because in India there's a staircase carved into rock so steep it's basically vertical. And one slip doesn't mean falling down steps, it means disappearing off the mountain. Number 8. Harihar Fort, India. From a distance it looks like a ridge. Up close, it's a wall. The final ascent is a near vertical staircase carved straight into stone, so steep your brain stops calling it stairs and starts calling it a fall. The air feels thinner, the wind louder, and the drop beside you feels endless. The steps rise at an angle people estimate around 70 to 80 degrees, almost upright. There are no railings, just a thin chain that's more psychological than protective. Each step is worn smooth by years of rain and feet, turning the climb into a test of friction. One slip doesn't mean tumbling down a few steps, it means losing the mountain. And the higher you climb, the worse it gets. Your body leans forward like you're crawling up a cliff while your eyes keep catching the void on both sides. In monsoon season, the stone turns slick, like climbing glass. Your hands grip harder, your legs shake, because here, hesitation is dangerous. But rushing is deadly. Reaching the top feels less like success and more like escaping gravity. Harihar Fort doesn't reward you with comfort, it rewards you with relief. But the next place is even darker, because it wasn't made by nature or adventure, it was built through suffering. Number 7 is a railway carved into cliffs in the jungle, where the danger is real, the history is brutal, and the track still runs. Number 7. The Death Railway, Thailand to Myanmar. From a distance it looks peaceful. Jungle, limestone cliffs, a river far below. But this is one of the most dangerous rail lines on Earth, and the danger isn't just the drop, it's what this track represents. A route carved through terrain that never wanted to be crossed. Built in 1942 to 1943, the railway stretches about 415 kilometers, forced through dense jungle and sheer rock. Workers cut ledges into vertical cliffs with primitive tools, hanging above the river with almost no margin for error. Heat pushed past 40 degrees Celsius. Storms hit without warning, and the jungle turned the air into something heavy and relentless. More than 200,000 laborers were used, including Allied POWs and Asian civilians. An estimated 90,000 civilians and 12,000 prisoners of war died from starvation, disease, beatings, and exhaustion. They called it the Death Railway for a reason. It said one life was lost for every sleeper laid. Here, danger wasn't an accident. It was built into the schedule. And the most disturbing part is that trains still move through sections today, beauty hiding brutality along the cliff edge. You can stand there and feel the river below and the history above it. But next, the danger looks calm, because number 6 is a lake in New Zealand that seems peaceful until you realize it can burn you in seconds, and the ground beneath it is still alive. Number 6, Frying Pan Lake, New Zealand. It looks like a calm, steaming lagoon, quiet, almost inviting, but this is the largest hot spring on Earth, and it's one of the most deceptive, dangerous places you could ever stand near. Because here, the threat isn't noise or height. It's heat hiding in plain sight. Formed after the 1886 eruption in the Waimangu Volcanic Valley, the lake covers a wide area with water that averages around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, hot enough to cause severe burns in seconds. The steam drifting across the surface isn't atmosphere. It's a warning sign you can't turn off. And the danger isn't just the water. Beneath the surface is constant volcanic instability. Temperatures can spike suddenly. Superheated steam vents and acidic geothermal fluids surround parts of the shoreline, meaning a step that looks safe can put you on ground that's cracking, thinning, and heating from below. This lake releases an enormous amount of thermal energy, like a natural power plant, making the terrain around it fragile and unpredictable. In places like this, solid ground is sometimes just a thin crust over pressure. One wrong step doesn't just hurt, it can drop you into heat you can't escape. Frying Pan Lake proves something terrifying. The most dangerous places don't always look dangerous. They look peaceful, right until they punish you. And next, the ocean does the same thing, because number 5 is a spot in Oregon where the sea gets swallowed into a hole and explodes back out, where one rogue wave can erase you in seconds. Number 5. Thor's Well, Oregon. At first glance, it looks like a bottomless hole in the coastline, like the ocean is draining into the earth. People walk right up to it because it feels unreal. But this isn't a landmark you visit, it's a trap made of timing, wet rock, and one mistake that happens faster than your brain can react. Thor's Well is a collapsed sea cave connected to underground channels carved by relentless waves. During high tide and storms, the ocean surges into the opening, then explodes upward, launching columns of water into the air. A moment later, it violently drains back down, creating the illusion that the sea is being swallowed underground. The danger isn't the hole, it's everything around it. The coastline here is razor-sharp basalt, constantly soaked and slick like ice. A single rogue wave can sweep across the rocks with no warning, knocking people off their feet and dragging them toward the edge. And if you slip, there's no soft landing, just impact, undertow, and rock. Thor's well proves a terrifying rule. The ocean doesn't announce the wave that takes you. It just arrives. And next, we go to a place where the danger is even bigger and even less forgiving. Because number 4 is a small town in Portugal where waves rise like moving skyscrapers. And survival depends on seconds. Number 4. Nazaré, Portugal. On the surface, it's a quiet coastal town, but in winter, the ocean here turns into something else entirely. Walls of water so large they don't feel like waves. They feel like moving buildings. People come to watch because it looks impossible, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. Nazaré produces some of the largest surfable waves ever recorded, amplified by the underwater Nazaré Canyon, a trench that stretches for hundreds of kilometers and plunges to extreme depths. It funnels Atlantic swells and stacks them into monsters. In peak season, waves can reach 20 to 25 meters, rising fast enough to erase your sense of scale. But the real danger isn't the height, it's the power. These waves can move faster than 70 kilometers per hour, carrying the force of a collapsing skyscraper. A wipeout isn't a fall. It's being slammed, dragged, and held underwater while the next wave arrives. Surfers can be pinned for 30 to 60 seconds, disoriented, running out of air, while currents pull them like machinery. That's why rescue teams wait on jet skis, because here, survival is never guaranteed. Nazaré is proof that beauty can be lethal when the ocean decides to wake up. And next, the danger doesn't come in waves, it stands in place, fragile and doomed. Because number 3 is a towering sea stack in Scotland, battered by Atlantic storms, where one mistake means falling into freezing water. Number 3. The Old Man of Hoy, Scotland. Rising straight out of the Atlantic like a broken pillar, this sea stack looks permanent from a distance, until you realize it's basically a collapsing tower. It stands alone off Hoy Island, exposed to some of the harshest coastal weather on Earth, where the ocean never stops hitting the same weak points. The Old Man of Hoy is about 137 meters tall, roughly a 40-story building made of layered sandstone. That matters because sandstone doesn't fight back against salt spray and storm waves forever. Every year, erosion shaves away its base, quietly changing the balance. Geologists expect it will eventually fall, just like nearby stacks that have already vanished. And yet, elite climbers still attempt it. The climb isn't just hard, it's unforgiving. Wind shifts fast, the rock can crumble, and the ocean below is freezing and violent. There's no safe place to fail here. One slip doesn't mean you fall, it means you disappear into cold water and jagged rock with waves doing the rest. Standing beneath it feels like watching a countdown you can't see, one storm away from history changing shape. It's breathtaking because it's temporary. But next we go somewhere danger doesn't come from the sea. It comes from isolation. Number 2 is Mount Roraima, a lost world trapped in clouds, where weather erases visibility, the ground turns slick, and rescue is painfully far away. Number 2. Mount Roraima. On the border where Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana meet, a flat-topped mountain rises out of the jungle like a stone fortress from another world. Its walls are almost vertical, and its summit is trapped in clouds so often it feels hidden on purpose. From below, it doesn't look climbable. It looks sealed. Roraima towers around 2,810 meters above sea level, and its sheer cliffs can rise up to 400 meters straight down into the rainforest. It's also ancient. estimated at nearly 2 billion years old, which means the landscape has had more time to become strange, sharp, and unforgiving. Here, the mountain isn't just high, it's isolated. The summit is a lost world. Black stone plains, crystal pools, and plants found nowhere else. But the danger is constant. Rain falls almost daily, turning flat rock into slick channels that drain into waterfalls off the edges. Fog can erase visibility in minutes. One wrong step doesn't just lead to injury, it can trap you in terrain where direction disappears. Reaching the top takes a multi-day expedition through jungle, rivers, and exposed climbs where rescue is extremely difficult and weather decides everything. Roraima doesn't need traps or enemies. The mountain itself removes your margin for error. And now, number 1 isn't a single peak. It's an entire chain of islands where volcanoes, fog, and storms make danger permanent. The Kuril Islands. Number 1. The Kuril Islands, Russia. Stretching like a jagged spine between Japan and the Russian Far East, this chain of remote islands feels less like a destination and more like a warning. Fog blankets the sea, storms form fast, and the coastline is all cliffs and black water. Out here, the first danger is simple. You're alone, far from help, far from safety, far from normal. The Kurils span over 1,300 kilometers and include more than 50 volcanic islands, with around 40 active volcanoes, one of the highest concentrations on Earth. They sit directly on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where earthquakes, eruptions, and tsunamis aren't rare events. They're part of the background. Some volcanoes erupt without warning, launching ash plumes kilometers into the sky. And then there's the weather. Thick fog can reduce visibility to near zero, turning navigation into a gamble. Winter temperatures plunge below -20 degrees Celsius, and storms generate waves powerful enough to smash coastlines like glass. One bad decision here doesn't just put you in danger, it traps you in it. When conditions flip, evacuation isn't difficult. It's often impossible. That's what makes the Kuril Islands truly terrifying. The danger isn't one thing, it's everything at once. Fire beneath you, ice around you, and a sea that doesn't forgive mistakes. Few civilians ever set foot here for a reason. Because in places like this, nature doesn't negotiate, it just moves. And you either survive the moment or you don't. If these places felt unreal, this was only part 2. Go watch part 1. 9 impossible places that terrify travelers. The places that started this countdown and the ones people still regret visiting. It's linked right here. Don't miss it.